Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn. I do videos on astrology and Feng Shui, and today we are talking about astrology. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like videos like this, because it really helps out the channel. And if you don't know me, again, welcome to the channel. I am a professional astrologer. I've been doing astrology for a long time. I've written 16 books. I write a weekly sun signs column on sunsigns.com. I also write for horoscope.com and astrology.com. And in the description box below, there is a link to a PDF if you need a copy of your chart, which does include my email, where you can just send me your information and I will send you a copy of your chart. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at Leo. And for you guys are doing this Cancer eclipse in your 12th house. 12th house is your hidden house. This is the house of your hidden talents, your spirituality. It also, though, can bring up issues that you've had that you need to work on. Now, this is specifically about your blocks, those emotional things that have held you back in the past. Now these can come forward for you to identify. You can identify fears or insecurities or hurts that you've had, so that you can then take a look at them, cut the cords, maybe use some NLP techniques or tapping or self-hypnosis to clear those blocks. And so this is what this eclipse is about. Now, of course, that this eclipse also is going to be about you bringing forth your hidden talents, things perhaps from past lives, things where, from your ancestral life, where your gene pool came from, but again, where your soul came from. And so pulling those things forward, were you very powerful in a previous life and now you have more humble circumstances? You can pull in the knowledge and the wisdom and the talents from that past life and use them now. And so this is an eclipse that opens that door for you. Now, interestingly enough, it is getting that inconjunct from Saturn right on the descendant, and this is that other people are going to be key. And these are not necessarily the people in your life right now, because this is Saturn is at 0 degrees. So this does say that you want to expand the amount of people that you're listening to, that perhaps they are authorities in their field or mentors of some sort. So this is going past your usual, past the comfort zone, and finding those people, reaching out and seeing who will connect with you, and not necessarily just buying courses or going with consultants, but looking to see a real connection with someone. Because in all of what we do, when we are in this big world with this billions and billions of people, how is it that some people connect and some people don't? And it is because their charts connect. So when somebody is supporting your life path, and that is your North Node, when they are supporting your career, and that's your Saturn, when they're putting their Saturn on your chart, which shows that they're taking responsibility for some aspect of your life, that's when a connection happens. And so when you are reaching out to somebody, if there is a connection, then you can feel it, because that person will go out of their way to help you out. They will do more than what they say they're going to do, because there is that past life connection, that chart connection. Now, the North Node, South Node is in the 511, and so that is also talking about you reaching out and doing something in the bigger community. It is about moving away from doing everything yourself and being more part of the collective, of being part of a group. And so this could mean joining organizations or groups online, so that you can get more of that feedback from people who know what they're doing, who are a little farther down the road. Now, this North Node in Gemini, of course, is collecting information, and it is so easy to collect information during the internet age. And so you also do want to filter some of that. If you're just going to the same places over and over, you want to make that adjustment and say, all right, what's a new source? maybe just clicking on some videos of stuff that you never thought you'd be interested in. Try a video, see if it does have some interest for you, because this is all about self-discovery with all these 0-degree and 29-degree influences. Now, of course, this North Node, South Node is getting that square from Mars right from your house of resources from others. This means there are some opportunities for you to get resources such as funding for education, as well as scholarships for courses or things like that. Always ask, because you could get something, you can get a discount now. This also says that the bigger community could gather to help you, that you have lots more resources maybe than you're aware of. And so making a list first of your talents and your abilities, what can you trade out there for the things that you need, but also taking a look at maybe the friends you have already and what are their additional skills, what are their abilities, and how can you combine together to create a synergy where you are greater than just as individuals. So take a look at that. That Mars also does say, because it's going through the 8th house, that you do need to pay a little attention to finances. We'll talk about that in a moment. Venus is retrograde in your 11th house, and Mercury is retrograde in your 12th house. And this is really interesting because this has a very strong career placement. It does say that it may be time to go back to something you were doing before, even if it's just part-time. The Venus up in the 11th house also reminds you to reach out to friends who you haven't spoken to in a while and reconnect with them. The Mercury retrograde is talking about going back into your inner self, your spiritual life. If you had a daily spiritual practice before and that kind of gave way to all the craziness that has gone on in the last few months, then it's time to get back to a meditation schedule, or that you lit a candle every day, maybe you said prayers or affirmations. Maybe you were doing walks in nature, or perhaps you were doing Feng Shui, and so it's time to go in, maybe do a house clearing, and then clear your cures so that you can re-energize all of that. When we look at your relationships, we have Saturn right on the descendant, and that is that the relationships you have need to go from this casual place to a place where you're each taking responsibility for the other person. And it starts with you, because you're the one who has the Saturn. So unless your partner is also a Leo or Leo rising or a Leo moon, they're not doing that Saturn. So you take the initiative and say, I'm going to be responsible, in the sense that you're going to say encouraging things, that's taking responsibility for what you say in that relationship, that you are showing up and being present for the relationship, that you are arriving on time, even if it's an online meeting, that you are doing the things that show that you care and respect that person. Now, this does say that when it comes to relationships, if you're dating, you can move it to the next level. If you are in a relationship right now, that you really need to connect on a deeper level to show each other that you care. If you are looking for love, yes, you're hidden in the 12th house right now, and that makes it a little bit tough. This is going to change in a few weeks, so right now, just cool your heels. Don't try and push it. If you're already on online sites, you can continue to do that, but you may not find a really good match just yet, so give it a few weeks. Just be patient, it's coming. When we look at your home and family life, what we have is you might be needing to spend a little money to do some upgrades or some repairs. Things might need to be decluttered, or you might just need to straighten up things a little bit to make your environment really conducive to productivity. Perhaps you have put an office into your home very abruptly, and now it has to be in a more permanent way. But overall, you're not making so much of a connection right now in this area, and that means that if you were thinking about moving, maybe that's a little bit on hold right now, maybe you are taking a breath. When it comes to family, everybody seems to be now doing their own thing and not connecting so much. And right now, again, that's perfectly fine. That's going to change in a couple of weeks, and then you can shift that energy. When it comes to your career, there are some changes going on because Uranus is going through your 10th house, and it's ruled by that Venus that's retrograde. And so that means there is some changes happening. So when you're considering this, even if you're going back on the job now, because the Venus retrograde would indicate that money is flowing in again, you need to be aware that perhaps the long-term prospects of the type of career you're doing, the company you work for, or the industry you work in are not as solid as people would say. So you need to keep that in mind. And this comes back to following those things that are inside of you, the real part of you that wants to do what the soul wants. And so that is about self-discovery. And this Uranus here says that the universe may be helping you out of your career so that you have an opportunity to do something else, but you don't want that to happen when you're feeling unprepared. So this is a time where you might consider some vocational testing or get with an astrologer to really look at your chart and say, what should you be doing for a living? It also is about that self-discovery of making a list of what your talents are, what it is you want to explore, because you are a unique and wonderful soul. You just need to uncover what you should be doing. So when we look at your finances, you are pulling money right from the 12th house. That means that your money has a spiritual component. And so you need to do the spiritual things to attract the money. And that is to align your energy with money energy. And we do that through prayer, meditation, affirmations, visualization, all of the things that we all know. Light the candle, visualize clients coming to you, or your paycheck coming to you, or new jobs coming to you. And also put yourself in a productive mindset by doing visualizations and affirmations. Don't just click from video to video, but instead click on the video, get the learning, and then stop and incorporate that learning inside of you, practice it, then move on if you still need to the next instruction. Because Mercury is retrograde, there may be some holdup in payment, or perhaps you're just starting back at the job, but they're holding back a paycheck. So this is a reminder to create multiple sources of income for the future. Look around and see what else you can be doing where you can start to create passive income sources. And when we look at your passive income sources, and that would be your investments or having a business or money received from a partnership of some sort, we see the Neptune and the Mars. And the Mars up there in Pisces again is saying, do the spiritual, and that is clear out the emotional blocks that you have to money, clear out that ceiling that you have that says I can't earn more than this, or if I make more then I'm vulnerable because people will take it, or if I earn more then people will see me as having a big ego. Clear out those emotional blocks so that you can move forward. A lot of what we see going on in your chart is this issue of worrying about what other people are saying, and that is mirrored by the Saturn on the 7th house cusp as well as that Mars. And so if you can clear out that hesitation of being concerned about other people's opinions, you can make more money. When it comes to your money from career, we have the Venus retrograde in your 11th house, which does say that an income source is coming back. That's fantastic. But again, it's ruled by that Mercury in the 12th, which says do the spiritual, light the candles, place the crystals, do those things, because it is your alignment with prosperity that's going to bring the money in. And if you are interested in more about astrology and personal finance, check out my course, Finding the Hidden Money in Your Chart. It is, well, it's on Udemy, but there's a link in the description box below. I want you to stay safe and let the stars light your way.